Hello there, my name is Sarah. I am a coach and consultant, and I wanted to talk to you today about how to build staff morale. Right now, we're running into a funny situation where some small business owners are actually running into staff that don't want to return to their work because they can actually make more income from unemployment. Now, what are you supposed to do with that, right? So I'm going to show you how you can boost your staff's morale despite the strange times that we live in today. The key to this is to understand the subject of morale itself. So let's start with the definition. Morale is a feeling of confidence, a resolute, willing, self-sacrificing, and courageous attitude toward the things that you're responsible for or the group that you're a part of. Now think about that for a second. Confidence. You have to have self-confidence or confidence in the leadership of your business in order to really have morale. You also have to be resolute. Resolute means you've made up your mind. You feel like you're on the same page and you're going the right direction. Willing. You have to have staff who are willing as a business owner, right? And now think about the last time your staff acted somewhat self-sacrificing, meaning they're willing to work a little extra or stay a couple hours longer because they actually believe in the worthwhileness of your purpose as a business. That is what staff morale is all about. So let's talk about how you build a high morale team. Morale is based off of a couple of different factors. Number one, pride in achievement, meaning I have to actually be productive in order to have morale. And I have to feel like what I'm doing means something, right? I'm actually accomplishing stuff. I'm not just shuffling papers around. Number two, I have to have some belief in the aims of the group. This comes back to what your mission statement is as a business. Do you actually have a goal, something your team feels like they're striving for? Take Patagonia, for instance. They're an outdoor clothes and gear company. Fantastic mission statement. It's all around their core values of building a business that's not just a business. It actually has the mission of helping with environmentally friendly and creating gear that they can stand behind. So this is very important when you're building a high morale team, for the team to actually feel like that mission is their mission. This comes from hiring the right people, people who fit your business culture, right? It also comes from a couple of different factors, which we're going to cover in the later bullet points. Number three, faith in its leadership and ultimate success. If I don't have faith in your ability to lead me, my morale is probably going to be pretty low as an employee. So really put yourself in their shoes. Are you presenting in a way that they can have high confidence that you know what you're doing? Right? This means in a crisis like the one we're in right now, actually having a business plan, having a staff meeting and discussing with them what your plans are to make sure your business survives the current crisis. This is very important because if they feel like their job is on shaky ground or your business is about to go under, they're not going to have very high morale, and that's going to also affect their productivity. All right, number four, a sense of fruitful personal participation. Meaning I can't just be doing the work, I have to feel like I've actually contributed to something. And that requires your acknowledgement of my task. This doesn't mean every little thing I do, but not just focusing on correcting your staff when they do things wrong, but actually remembering to validate when they do things right. Very important to staff morale. And then lastly, morale contains the element of devotion and loyalty to other members in the group too. So that loner, the kind of hermit guy who sits in his cubicle, doesn't have very high morale, and he's certainly not inspiring morale in his teammates. So remember, anything you do to inspire that loyalty to each other is going to build morale. That means not taking sides when you see two staff going at it. It also means encouraging them to socialize with each other and actually get to know each other so they can become a tight-knit team. So these are just a couple of the different ways that you can build a high morale team. Now let's talk about some of the rules around morale. Well, how can we apply these? For instance, a difficult experience does not necessarily lower staff morale. In fact, it can help you build morale. Now, just as an example, Look at the way soldiers go through boot camp, which is a very stressful time, right? Physically, emotionally, and they come out the other end of that as a tight-knit team. Why? Because they've been through something together. They've learned to trust each other and to know that the other guy has their back. Now, I'm not recommending in any way that you turn your business into something like a boot camp. Not a good idea. But when it comes to morale, just because there's a crisis going on outside doesn't necessarily have to lower your team's morale if you're applying the things that I talked about in the earlier slide and recognizing that they're going to be more motivated to be working harder together as a team if they have all those ingredients in place. So very important. Another thing about morale is that the key to it is agreement, meaning you have to actually match the reality of the other person in order to have high morale in your team. If you're talking to them in a way that's wildly out of their agreement and just completely out of their frame of mind, you're not going to have a very easy time of it when it comes to building morale. So rather than throwing something at them that you know they can't really confront or face, try to talk about it in a way that they are able to confront it and actually overcome whatever barrier it is that you're running into. All right, now let's take some action here. I want you to stop and write down what you can use of all the points that we went over. How can you help your staff feel like they have pride in their achievements, like they're being productive? How can you help them to have belief in the aims of your group or your company, right? How can you actually inspire them to have faith in your leadership as the business owner and the ultimate success of your business? So take a look at these points and see how you can apply them to your own business, and I'll talk to you in the next video.